For example, it's easy for them to say BJP supports Hindi, they're anti-Kannadiga. But they've never gone back and questioned what the Congress has done when they've been in power at the center.
What I started saying from the beginning is about how Congress has, and the Delhi parties and the Delhi mindset, even from the constituent assemblies, has essentially created a Hindi hegemony. I want to talk about...
But do you see others? I'm not talking about you, but a lot of activists.
People have their own...
very convenient
people have their own intellectual or ideological viewpoints, but I'll give you an example. If you look at Tamil Nadu, which we respect the Periyar movement, where the Dravidian movement a lot, and its fight for linguistic identity and linguistic rights and linguistic equality. When Lal Bahadur Shastri in the mid-60s wanted to remove English as an official language, then what happened was there was outcry Hindi agitation in Tamil Nadu. 500 people ended up dying. In 1965, Lal Bahadur Shastri says on the radio that in English, that we will not remove English and Hindi hegemony will not be there institutionally on that one aspect. What happens in 1967? There is a massive transformation in the political system where the Kamaraj and the Congress government is out. Dravidian politics comes into play in 1967, and since then, for 55 years, Tamil Nadu, linguistically and in anti-caste and in many factors, has been a role model. There's no BJP, there's no Congress. So we believe that language cannot be a one-issue fight. People vote on as you know, they don't cast their vote, they vote their caste. So we need a lot of other dimensions, economic dimensions, social dimensions, and a radical transformation the way the Periyarist movement and the Dravidian movement had in Tamil Nadu, along with language rights in Karnataka, to create a massive transformational movement that will benefit Kannada, benefit the people of Karnataka, and be actually constitutional.
But can a regional party really address this? We haven't seen JDS doing anything great.
JDS is not successful in terms of dismantling the power structure. They consolidate the power structure for their own benefit. The political system, if you look at any political individual or politicians, they look in terms of what benefits them or their community. We look as activists, as people who believe in Ambedkar and Periyar, Phule ideas, we look what is in societal interest. So if you build a strong enough ideological movement for equalitarianism, with language being a very prominent aspect of that, you can create transformative change in Karnataka.
When you talk about activists, one allegation is that there's a lot of doublespeak. And I'll tell you why. So a lot of them are talking about how Hindi is imposed, how the union government is against regional languages in Kannada. When there is a proposal of giving a report on giving official status to Tulu, a lot of activists actually opposed it. You have some of them who've also opposed giving any sort of a support to Kodavas. There's a fight amongst activists saying, okay, are you a Tulu activist first or a Kannada activist?
See, Harish, I am not here speaking for Kannada activists, Tulu activists, or Kodava activists. I will speak for the ideology of equalitarianism that we are all working together with people, like-minded people. I do believe the 22 official 8 scheduled 22 languages, all of the language should be official. Kodava and Tulu should also be included in that. The Article 343 to 351, which give Hindi Divas and make our language inferior but use our state's tax money for the Hindi hegemony, should be amended and changed. And also the 3-language formula should be shifted to what, for 50 years, the Annadurai and the Dravidian movement in Tamil Nadu has done 2-language formula with the Kannada prominence and English, and also the growth of all of our other linguistic languages in our state. We have Lambani, we have Bari. Actually, Urdu does not belong to Pakistan. For political reasons, they took it and that nation was divided. Urdu is the bedrock of Karnataka and the Deccan, whether it be Ibrahim Adil Shahi II or Muhammad Quli Qutub Shahi. It's the cradle of Urdu civilization in Karnataka. So we want to develop all the languages that are part of Karnataka, Adivasi languages, Soliga, Yerava, Jaina Kurba. So this kind of linguistic equalitarianism must not just be because I am a Kannada language or I'm a Kannada speaker, it's my language. No, it's in the best interest of a pluralistic, equalitarian nation and state.
Chetan, do you believe this entire struggle now is largely in an echo chamber on social media? One. Second, many are saying it's excessively focused on what the government is doing, what the BJP government at the center is doing, what the Congress is saying, instead of ensuring that the language finds more takers, more usage in day-to-day life. Because if people stop using the language, then it's as good as being dead or of research interest.
As you mentioned, languages are going
I'm
extinct.
saying this because I remember...
You're making up many good points you brought up. Number one, Hindi hegemony affects people on a day-to-day life. See, for example, people go to bank, in banking system, there's only Hindi and English, there's no Kannada. Railway stations, RTOs, you're talking about LIC, and even if you look on passport, PAN card office online, there's only Hindi, English, there's no Kannada there. Our language is not included. It makes people's lives difficult. Now, what is happening, and a good thing in Karnataka, is that even if Hindi hegemony from the center is structurally being undermined on different levels, there's more awareness today among the people of Karnataka, and the Kannada activists, language activists, who I respect on this issue, are taking up technology and bringing it through social media.
Yes,
but
there
Twitter,
are some of them.
Yeah. But I hold that technology and social media, these are tools, the internet, maybe 30 years, maybe 15 years, cinema's 100 years. Going to the people and mass movements in the streets, this is what we need. This is what we have done for thousands of years. This is the way to create a strong enough awareness.
That was my question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Say 150 people on Twitter talking about it, creating awareness is great. But what about someone who's sitting in Gulbarga, doesn't have access to Twitter or is not on Twitter?
Absolutely. What you say, this cannot be relegated to social media at the convenience of our fingertips. You want a mass movement, you want Kannada and linguistic rights and federalism, then we must come to the streets. And that has been proven. I told you in the anti-Hindi agitation, Potti Sriramalu, who did 75 days and gave up his life for the Andhra state, which is the creation of Karnataka. Even today, the movements, you talk about the farmers' movement that fought for a year in spite of state-sponsored attacks.
I ask you this because the last language movement in Karnataka probably is Gokak movement.
I don't believe the last movement is Gokak movement. In fact, we were involved in, for example, the anti-metro 3 languages in the metro where Hindi shouldn't be included. And Kannada and English should be included.
It was very restricted to Bangalore, and that's another problem. But how do we increase usage? For example, the last census report said 34 lakh people in Bangalore speak Kannada. We have a population of more than 1 crore.
First of all, Gokak Chaluvai is a very interesting part because you're talking about something that grew out in Kolar, which is a very diverse linguistic tradition, and we respect that tradition. But there's a lot of movements, and the movements cannot be singularly anti-English, Hindi, and Sanskrit hegemony. It must be a much more inclusive, anti the power structure that is interconnected to language in terms of economics, class, caste, gender, regional, and all forms of anti-corruption, anti-environmental destruction. All of these things are inherently interconnected. So, and first of all, it's not about how many percentages language speakers are in a state. I mean, that is one factor. But most importantly, the federalist structure we must maintain and advance. And this cannot be just an action-reaction like you were saying. We need proactive steps that bring about this kind of ideal kind of land. We need proactive steps. It can't be, for example, Modi government in 2014, first day they came in, they said all social media accounts should be in Hindi. There was outcry, and then they changed it. Now Modi government is saying, and then now Amit Shah said Hindi should be a linked language. There was outcry, they don't say it anymore. But this is not just about they do, and then there's outcry. This must be active steps to institutionally, structurally create a linguistically egalitarian or equalitarian kind of nation and state.
I had